by the skin of our teeth. Niners, baby! Get the dub in Levi's South, and we need to talk about it. Oh my God. Years of my life have been shaved off with every 49ers game this year. I would love to just win a game and to not stress, but brother, we are stressing every single week because it just comes down to the skin of our teeth. Literally, just the skin. But let's talk about the nitty gritty. The 49ers dominated the time of possession in this game. 40 minutes to 24. The 49ers won the turnover battle. Now, the Rams did end up with more offensive yards, but the way that the Niners game plan consisted of today, it was short but effective plays, like running the play clock all the way down, controlling the ball, just throwing it down to the check down, 3-step drops, balls out type deal. That was the key to this victory, to be perfectly honest, keeping it out of the Rams' hands, because the Rams are a second half team. And as you could see, this game was a tale of two halves. Niners dominated the first half, Rams came back viciously in the second, and then overtime happened and the Niners defense came up big, stopping them on 4th down there at the end of the game, forcing 2 turnovers. Alfred freaking Collins punching not only the ball out, but Kyren Williams in the face, and then knocking the ball out on the 1-yard line. I coach my kids that way, and he did it perfectly and recovered it. Alfred Collins, baby. That's a big rookie play right there. Huge. But back to Kyle Shanahan's game plan for this game. 3-step drops, balls out. Whether that's underneath the Tonders, underneath the McCaffrey, crosser to Kendrick Bourne, who only had 1 drop today. I'm so happy because I was so pissed off last week with all 3 of his drops. This week, huge game for KB. 11 targets, 10 catches, 142 yards. Huge game. McCaffrey in his McCaffrey-like fashion for this year, 8 catches for 82 yards and a tutty, and then 57 yards rushing. So again, here we are, right around that 140-yard mark, 32 touches. That's what McCaffrey's been doing all year long. Can't go wrong with that. And like I said, 3-step drops, quick underneath, precise passes. Mac Jones, 33 of 49, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, because they're just quick, easy throws. Like, throw it to the open man. That's all he did. Throw it underneath. That's all he did. He didn't ask Mac Jones to move around in the pocket and do all these rollouts and stuff. He really couldn't because his leg wouldn't allow him to. I want this same kind of game plan with Brock Purdy. Please. Not just because of his toe being messed up, but it's efficient. It's super efficient and it's effective. They've done this kind of game plan the 3 games Mac Jones has been in there, and he's thrived in it. And tonight was the best example of it. We need that same game plan when Brock Purdy's in there because we really do well with it. Our offense looks good in it. So please, Kyle, let's continue that next week when we play Tampa. We need to do that. But like I said, the Rams are a great second half team. They came back viciously in the second half. Their defense is great, especially their defensive front. And they were putting pressure on Mac Jones. They were hitting him. I thought he was going to go out. He toughed through the pain and he got the job done at the end of the day. The Rams defense wasn't making anything easy. Matthew Stafford, one of the most clutch quarterbacks I've ever seen in my entire life. He had 389 yards and 3 touchdowns tonight. You can never count that man out, and nor should you. He's that good. Freaking Puka Nacua had 10 catches for 85 yards. He has over 50 catches on the year. Puka's crazy good. And Devontae Adams had 5 catches for 88 yards. Every time I'm looking at Devontae Adams, he was open. There was a certain times that our defensive line was actually putting pressure on Stafford so they couldn't get it to Devontae, thankfully. But Tutu Atwell came up big for 2 catches for 72 yards for the Rams. Kyren Williams had 8 catches for 66 yards and 2 touchdowns, as well as 65 yards on the ground. He's a little weapon. D. Winters could not guard him all night. D. Winters for the Niners he's not looked good in pass coverage. I'm not a fan of him covering literally anybody or sprinting out to the edge even right now. I said it last week, he looked a step too slow, and he continued to play like that tonight, and I don't understand why. In fact, I would dare to say that this was his worst game of the year. He only had 4 tackles, actually. Now, I know Marquise Siegel had that one Tutu Atwell play where Tutu got him flat-footed and ran right by him and caught that ball in overtime, but this was his best game. He had a couple PBUs, one big one in the end zone, one big play at the very end of the game, and he also led the team in tackles. Good rook right there. But this game reminded me of last week, only in reverse. Last week, the Niners kept making mistakes. They were turning the ball over. They weren't converting 3rd and 4th downs, while the Jaguars would do the exact opposite. So tonight, the Niners had control. They had ball control, and they had the control of the game. The pressure was put onto the Rams to execute. And sometimes they did, but a lot of times they didn't. Not to mention, Niner fans showed up huge down there in Levi South. SoFi Stadium is our stadium. If you looked out, it was a sea of red. It was a beautiful thing. And now the Niners are 4-1, and they won this game without actual starting quarterback. Mac Jones has filled in so well, and he's injured, and he's filled in so well. Proud of him. Played great. I don't care what these stupid announcers or ESPN or any mind-numbing fan wants to say. There is no quarterback controversy. Brock's going to be back, and everything's going to be just fine. But there's no reason to rush him back like they did last week, because we have a quarterback that can run our system and actually play well. As long as Kyle keeps calling plays to get the ball out of the quarterback's hands immediately, because our offensive line can't block for more than 3 seconds for sure. 1, 2, 3, out. That's where the ball needs to go. But without Brock, without Ayuk, without Kittle, without Juwan Jennings, without Ricky Pearsall, all of the receiving weapons gone. Don't matter. Still got KB. Apparently, we did it. 4-1. Crazy. I didn't expect to say any of these things today. Like, I was looking at this kind of almost doom and gloom, and I was like, if we're gonna lose, this is gonna be one of those games we're gonna lose, because we're absolutely the underdog. All of our weapons besides CMC are hurt. How the Rams does not fully take advantage of this? They didn't. They had a horribly slow start, like they have been this year, and then they couldn't fully come back from that. Thank God for slow starts. Anyways, tell me your thoughts down below. Are you pumped for this season? What was something that stood out to you about this game while you were watching it, while your heart was pounding as years were shaving off of your life like mine? What is something that stood out to you about this team? Because to me, the number one thing that stood out to me, that continually stands out to me, is the grit of this squad. They don't give up. There's always hope, and that's not always there on teams. You can see how certain teams give up in the end, and this team doesn't do that. They find a way to win. Last year, when everybody and their mother's mother was hurt, they were packing it in certain moments of the game, and you could just tell when it was just done. There was nothing we can do. This team has a different energy about them, a different aura, to where the point is they don't give up, and it's never out of reach, and they have been finding and grinding ways to win. We are one drive, one first down, one random set of plays away from being undefeated right now, which is crazy to me. We're also one drive, a bunch of plays, and a few lopsided kicks away from not having any wins this year. Good teams find a way to win. Good teams make it happen. Good teams get the bounce. They get the roll. Apparently, we're a good team, and I'm here for it. Again, comment down below, like this video, follow me, whatever platform that you're watching this on, subscribe if you're on YouTube. I appreciate you. Have a good day, and I'll talk to you.